Everybody likes a good marathon, and that's what we gave you here at the GG.Bet Cologne Invitational. And we are actually one map into our first best of 3 of the day. We have one more right after this, but it's forZe Clan that do take down G2 and Inferno after a marathon. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, just in case. I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, no, just keep your heads on straight, I guess, in that sense. As we
if we could get rid of the voices that I'm hearing right now, that would be excellent. I think going into Overpass will be the second map, but as it seems, we do have a little bit of a hot mic situation in here. So I don't know if that's the keyword, but I think it might be Halvor. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Just kind of hard to think in this moment, you know. I'm trying to hold it all together.
I think you're doing an admirable job.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You hear this too?
No, absolutely.
So let's go ahead and kind of stop that button, whatever that is, and maybe hit the button that starts this next map, Overpass. This is where things turn into what is a G2 map pick.
Yeah, very much so as well. I mean, we haven't had, I don't think we've seen forZe, well, pretty much have more success on the map than, well, I think it was around like 30-ish% in their maps played so far. And again, they're not playing the same kind of opposition that that G2 are. So I think that's a bit of a worrying sign going into it. But I think if today and yesterday has really shown us anything at all, it's just the fact that we can't rely too much on that.
No, especially we can't rely on 11-4 halves.
Yeah.
We can't rely on G2 to close out a half on Inferno. In overtime at that.
So. Yeah, whether it be like regulation, overtime 1, overtime 2, overtime 3.
Hell, even 4 if you really think about it. 28-24, I believe, is the final score. And yeah, G2 looked pretty disjointed when it comes to retakes.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mess from start to finish, as you said. They just seemed, I mean, we kind of, alluded to the fact that they were doing pretty well having a high tempo initially, to take over Banana or going up mid quickly, all that kind of stuff on their T-sides, but retakes seem to have the same kind of mantra, I guess, and it didn't really pan out in the same fashion. They definitely needed some moments to take a breather, talk things through, and actually plan their retakes. And they had so many opportunities to close that out. So I feel like they're going to be going into this feeling a little bit not disjointed, but at least disappointed, if nothing else.
Pretty fair way of, I guess, feeling.
Yeah.
And then just talking about Overpass. Some of the things we were looking forward to happen there would be op battles on Inferno. What should we be looking forward to here on Overpass?
On Overpass, I think you can, expect more, actually, production out of kennyS. We didn't get to see him really do most of it. He was kind of outshone by sexpower on forced with that op in a pretty big wave, or a big way, actually. But, over the grand scheme of things, kennyS should be perfectly capable of doing well for himself on a map like Overpass.
Well, here we are, off to the races. G2 starting on the CT side. That likely means they won the knife round. And so we will see them start probably where they want to. Jack started right there. Almazar being the first victim on the entirety of the map of Overpass. Meanwhile, running right up a catwalk will be Jerry, and Shox just kind of planted against the sandbags. Been a rough round here. kennyS all on his lonesome in a 1v4. All right.
And one way to get it started. Space Crack is on low HP as well, but he's going to run into Jerry first, but Flit's going to be the one to find the kill. All right, solid start for forZe. That's one of the things that they didn't necessarily get on Inferno. Managed to battle back from it either way. And as we see the GG.Bet odds, 1.44, 52 actually, in favor of G2 and 2.4 for forZe. Again, with this being G2's map pick, I guess that could definitely be defended. But I've been really surprised, and well, not surprised, but I've just been pleasantly happy. Well, yeah, just forZe playing up to their potential, doing really well for themselves. Obviously, they've started off the well pretty nicely by winning Copenhagen games, and now it's good to see them that they're being able to bring it to higher echelon teams. Trades go a little bit back and forth. Shox is the one to get a response on the side of G2, but still pretty significant advantage for forZe. And sexpower, well, he's making sure that he's going to have enough money for an op when that comes to it. As forZe ends up clearing it out with Jerry, landing last kill onto Lucky. So 2-0, not big losses sustained on the side of forZe. Going to be feeling pretty good about that. It's going to be curious to see whether or not G2 opt for a pretty aggressive stance on their CT sides throughout, or if it's going to be rather passive. and how forZe are going to be able to deal with that in total. But for now, we're seeing the buy-up coming in from G2. It's got to be an off. A glass cannon on Kenny.
Big plans, big ambitions for Mr. Ken Dog.
Mr. Ken. Mr. Shroob, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kenny Shroob.
Something like that.
Might have butchered the pronunciation of it.
If I can get your last name right, I'm sure I can get his. But we won't
Fair
even
enough.
try just yet.
Yeah. Kenny lurking on long here. forZe already up on the site. He might get surprised here. Well, there you go. The Mac 10 coming into full effect.
Great pick.
Very solid as well. That's pretty much a glass cannon's worst nightmare to see. No bomb plant yet, actually. They vacated the bomb site with the bomb, which is somewhat surprising. XA could have had ample opportunity to actually plant the bomb. This could just be the longest con to fake them out to think that it's a B play.
The longest con of all cons. But don't worry, 4 members of forZe alive, and they're going to be controlling the A site as it stands. Bomb will finally get planted here, and
Optimus.
G2 ready to go, ready to get back in the fight. Jax is going to kick it off.
Ooh.
Shock's taking a lot of damage there from the off of X Power.
Oh, drops down from the car. That's a bit of a mistake. Leaves it to a, well, now 1v2. Almazar does have the positioning not really going his way. They didn't go for the default plan, and that's going to allow for G2 to turn it around. Careless from forZe, really. They had everything in their hands to close that out. I think Flit standing in the middle of bank and stairs pretty much just had to sit still, and he would have been able to guarantee a kill for his team. Instead, it kind of gives it up with an aggressive peek towards bank, and that just sets off the avalanche. And G2 get back into it. It's an expensive round, but it's a round nonetheless. And forZe, they're going to be able to buy up with what they have after those first 2 ones. Jerry actually sacrificing himself completely, just running around with a P250. See if they can fight back. Tower of Power.
And they
Works
got it
out.
all day. X Power has been hitting shots. It's going to hit that one on the Jax with the cheeky little boost. It does quite a marvel there for the side of forZe.
Yeah.
At least the way this round's started off. But, quite the aggression here from G2 to control that underpass area. They've got it all the way up to the ladder, too. They're not just controlling connector. They're controlling the entirety of it. So, real forward stance here from G2. With these weapons, I guess you can get away with that. You can feel a little bit more confident.
Right now, with the man advantage, slowly sneaking their way through Monster. There's only one defender on that B bomb side, actually. He's going to have a rough time holding all of this back. Lucky posted up behind sandbags. He's going to let one run past. Smoke's going to cover him off, and FaceCraft just immediately deletes him.
Yeah, he just gets erased, and that can't feel good. G2 now on the back foot. Bomb being planted there in the site. We've got it all day long. In fact, I say that, Kenny S and Amanek are teaming up just to try to turn the tide a little bit. They want to pressure this. They want to go for it. Weren't able to hold all the angles. They were kind of separated there via a Molotov there on Catwalk next to the sandbag. Almost hitting the no-scope. In the meantime, the drive-by. Jerry, you're springering into action.
Never say stop, right?
Yeah, always mouse 1. Always W. Always.
Keys to success for forZe in that round, for sure. And even with a bit of a wonky buy to start things off, that tower gets them off to the right foot. Well done. And that also sends G2 back to the bin. They barely scraped by on that first round win, and now sent back into the depths of hell where you can only find pistols and a single flash. It is pretty remarkable. You wouldn't have expected this going into the series to say, you know, by the time map 2 comes around that there's no doubt who's been the better opper on the server, and it's not Kenny S.
It's a weird timeline. 2019's already delivered.
Almost definitely true. The stack from G2 is being put into power, but not really a lot of striking force with this one. 2 first frags go the way of force. Make that a third one as well. Almazar still feeling hot after Inferno.
Yeah, and good on them. Right now at G2 with the 2 USPs, maybe they can take some weapons from forZe, but well, there's one. Good shot as well from Amanek. It's going to be lucky for the victim of the trade, and eventually Amanek as well. 4-1 for forZe. Now we're going to see some guns come back out on the side of the French. Everybody's baguette's a little bit toasted after that first map. I don't even know if you're supposed to toast those things, to be honest, but
Why not?
it is what it is, I suppose.
Where there's a will, there's a way. You could probably deep fry it. That would be the American thing to do.
Yeah, we have to like coat it in mayonnaise or something first, and then deep fry it. You know how we live.
Look at Omnic living his best life in Playground. Finds his opening frag, but the rest of the team has already moved in towards B. That's where Jax resides. Well, not for long.
Uh-oh.
Both him and Lucky have been sent on a vacation. How does he keep hitting those?
Damn, what a shot right there. Just a sliver of a head down on the bottom of his scope crosshair, and he does nail it. Now, Kenny S and Omnic are going to have to back away. There's no way they can go for this. They're going to have to hold on to these weapons. Wow.
Hot damn.
That round turned right around, too. They got the opening pick, and then before you know it, it's just fours all over the B bomb site. It's like they were sleeping over there, you know?
Yeah. Caught off guard for sure. And G2, I mean, they started off Inferno pretty well, and they couldn't close that out. Now they're starting on Overpass in a pretty rough manner. Are they going to be able to deal with this? And G2 have pretty strong results on the map as well, albeit it's some time removed. But if you go back to Pro League, they, you know, beat Navi pretty soundly on that map. They beat Vitality at the, I want to see the Belgian tournament, maybe French, Charleroi or whatever it's called. Yeah. There, and they've also beaten Energy at Dallas. And that was a pretty convincing one as well. It was 16-3.
But, I mean, Energy...
Not, I guess, in prime shape, Energy, but still usually a pretty damn good Overpass team.
Pause out, as well as the GG.Bet odds. You can see that fours are now the favorited winners here in terms of where your money lies, or whoever is into that whole betting thing. Now, GG.Bet, an official partner of the Cologne Invitational, yeah. So here we sit, had a timeout, and now we're back into action. Looks like they're going to have to do something strange around this op and og of Omnic and Kenny S. A little bit of a fly-through motion. Here's that shot.
Like,
boom. Wasn't his head, but still a hit.
Counts.
It's a kill.
Well, we'll see how this pans out. If Kenny can do some damage with that op. It's taken a little bit of damage so far, but scoff that off and oi, face crap.
Au revoir, Jackson Lucky. See you around.
C'est la vie.
Not a whole lot to get done there.
Omnic, though.
Yeah, that's a game changer. Omnic getting two. He could have maybe found that one as well, but I think he ran out of bullets, so prompted the reload. Meanwhile, Kenny S is going to have to come back and find 2 frags with the AWP, but there's not going to be a force player in sight. They've hightailed it, turned around, about face, and have ultimately hauled tail towards this A site. They're going to go long with it. With that op, it's a pretty good decision. It's going to keep Kenny in a sort of limbo.
Keep him guessing for sure. Yeah, he doesn't really seem just shaking around his mouse.
I don't really know where these guys are going to go, but his chance right now, his odds are right. He's played them in a pretty good position at least. He's able to flex over to whatever site they do go to. He'll be able to hear this plant at A. Yep, now he knows they're at A. Smoke's coming out. Great shot from Kenny to shoot the bomb planter. 30 seconds left, so still time to work with it. And he's going to go back through the smoke. 1v1.
Oh, he has no idea.
Oh, boy. X-Power, the savior over at forZe, has prompted Kenny S to shoot the corpse. And that's going to be a second one on the board for G2. Kenny saving the day in that round at least.
Yeah, he does. I mean, can't forget Omnic as well with that 3K. Because everything was looking pretty damn dire for G2. And that's a big round for them to get. Looking at a 2-5 scoreline instead of 1-6, and forZe just continuously rolling with that momentum. Obviously, still going to be money on the side of the Russian team.
Boom. That was a good shot.
That was really quick as well. And there's X-Power not having the awareness of Kenny moving through the smoke pretty much immediately. There you go, some street art. Slash ads, I guess.
We saw some street art yesterday, Halvor.
That's true, yeah.
Right here in Kiev, right in the sort of walkway underpass areas in the city. They have them designed so that you walk underneath the streets, and there was a cat sort of thing, and then it went in, there was a massive spider.
Spider looked freaky. Like, it's scary.
It did look freaky. The sun was down, the lights were out. It looked massive.
How do people line up for phrase crack time and time again? It's Lucky and Jax again.
And they've got to be reeling in on that one. You can't feel too good after having it happen over and over and over. But that's already a 2-man deficit that G2 are going to have to answer for. It's forZe Clan, all 5 alive.
Well, they have all the time in the world to play with, at least, and you can tell they've spread themselves rather thin for now, kind of just to offset any sort of potential from G2 to push aggressively and get information, and off of that, just go for a gamble stack on one of the bomb sites. Utility will start to dwindle as well on the side of G2 rather quickly. Just Shocks with a flash over towards B, and it's Kenny left with a Molotov. Smoke for Heaven down. See if this actually does anything for forZe. forZe is at the one flash that Shoxy had, at least.
Yeah, and they have just that one Molotov you're talking about there on Kenny. He's going to have to use it wisely.
Here we go. Off of no information, though, G2 decides to bank on A being the right target. And would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles, my friend. Waiting inside of the site is Kenny himself. He does have the op trained up there towards the bathrooms. Prompt him to pull this Molotov out and eradicate any threat from long A.
Yeah, the problem now is that just 5 seconds left, and regardless, FaceCrack's backstab is not going to do anything at all.
No, he might be able to take some weapons. That's going to be about it.
Yeah. He's going to have to make some noise, though, to get up here and find Shocks at least.
Yeah,
but
so that's one weapon. So all in all, not a total loss, but they did lose the round. So.
Yeah. G2 now getting really lucky getting away with these rounds. First, the heroics of Kenny S and Amanek to bring them the second round, and now just a blind stack over towards the A side, working out pretty nicely for them. Can't really rely on that for the remainder of the game. But it does put a bit of wear and tear on what buys we can get in from forZe. Almazar on.
Who's going to double up for him this time?
Yeah. Somebody's about to.
Oh, boy.
What's going on?
Nonsense is going on here. FaceCrack decides to pull out his knife as if someone's in the smoke. Now he does pay dearly for that. In a round where they did have things to work with.
They did. Almazar's not been able to pick up that AK as well. It's going to be a hard task to even get close to it.
You can tell G2 don't want to pressure this too much. They're kind of holding back. And right now it's paying off. 3v5. They're able to cover all the bomb sites and all the avenues that they need to. And even push up for some info. You can see right now Amanek wants to slowly work his way up towards the bathroom area, but not overextend. And if forZe aren't careful, they're going to find themselves right there. Right in his crosshair. Nice shot from Kenny. We'll let them know that this AWP player is there. They're not going to know that Amanek is up close in what was a pretty good crossfire, all things considered. Now Kenny lands a shot on Jerry, but the trade's there.
Yeah, time's starting to run out. Bombs down. This might be a save on the side of forZe. No reason for them to throw away an op. Expect can still do a whole lot of work with it. We saw the first time they really got put up against the wall with that kind of a buy. They did the quad boost.
Yeah,
and
it worked.
Yeah, very well.
But they, you know, it's something that you can get away with that one time. But I don't know if you could keep relying on it. You know, it's kind of you could tell it caught him off guard. It caught the CT player off guard on G2. So they're going to hold on to the op, and they're going to go into this next round with not fantastic money at all.
Yeah, really not. I guess what you do, I mean, this should be expected from G2, but try to quad boost. See if somebody ventures out on the side of G2. Then just kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best. See if Sexpack can actually find some openings with that op aggressively. not going to be the case. He's going to go searching towards mid and fountain early on. Kenny's not there to greet him. He's taking more of a passive hold.
That he has.
Oh, is nobody covering his back?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
He didn't see the player in water, so.
Yeah, he did not spot Lucky.
Luckily enough.
Oh, you. And nade in towards underpass failed. Flick gets to maintain 100 HP at least for the time being.
Yeah, just one door to separate them.
Hodor.
Hodor. Hodor. Hold door. Hold the door. Ooh. They're both holding the door.
And 6 Powers is seeing something. Okay.
Well, now they've let them know that that op isn't long. He can go ahead and transition out. And they're going to prompt a little bit of utility usage there to try to back off anyone else that might be on long.
Oh, goes back for more.
Just wants to keep partying. All that power. No one man should have all that power.
Except for Kenny. Powers.
Or Kanye Powers.
Yeah.
Or Austin Powers.
What about Max Power?
What about it? You know?
Well, look at this. Trade's actually going the way of forZe in this round. Started out with just an AWP. Now they have an AWP ×2. And that's going to save the bacon of the bomb as well. Even though Flick goes down, he does get the bomb planted.
Miraculously, it's Ominic here. He's going to be able to find a kill before he's ultimately eliminated. I'm really impressed by X-Power here. I think he's done...
He's been wild.
Yeah,
like,
he's done a lot here today, and I really think he's shown a lot of face throughout their matches.
Definitely. So first match, obviously being an integral part, more or less just demolished Hellraisers for the better part of the first half. On T-side Nuke, actually, with that op, had something like 20 first half kills. And obviously we saw what he did on Inferno as well, ending up with over 40 throughout those overtimes. And for those who don't know, if you didn't know, GG.Bet are well, for the GG.Bet Invitational for Cologne, we do have an official partner. That's csgo.net. And if you guys go to csgo.net and use the code Cologne, all capital letters, you can get 30% more of your balance and hopefully win some cool skins.
That's right. Halvor, an official partner here of the Invitational. And we'll continue this show on the road. 6 rounds for forZe, 4 for G2. Weapons still out across the board.
Let's see now. If anyone's going to give X-Power an opportunity to land a shot here. Right now, you've got Ominic tucked around a corner. That's been working out pretty well for him so far on this map. Found some pretty big kills that way. Oh. Shock strides a little bit too far forward here. Could be the end of him. Instead, it's going to be the end of Face Crack. Quick returns back and forth, and Ominic finally springs into action. His position has been given up, and the MP9 is not going to do too well on the second time around. So down to 2v2. Lucky on 2 HP.
Yeah, they're going to have to run right now with 10 seconds left on the clock.
Oh,
they're not going to have
boy.
very much time at all.
They need to immediately.
Just this little bit of resistance from Jack should be enough to stop the entire show, and he will. So G2 running that clock down, and then ultimately forZe not getting it done.
Yeah. Might be a little bit brazen to try to rotate all the way over towards that B site. That little time left, but I guess we're following up on what we saw in Inferno. It's a game of hectic moments, and the odds updated now favoring G2 1.49 in favor of them, actually. forZe, who at one point, I guess when they were up 5-1, understandably so, the odds reflected better for their sake. But G2 coming back into this now, 4 out of the last 5.
Halvor, you're such a shill.
Yeah, well, you know, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm just kidding, man. I've been doing it too.
Have you?
I have been, actually. Probably more than necessary. But nonetheless, check this out. This truck looks like, what, a Dodge? Is that a Dodge?
Does seem like a... Yeah, it's one of those pickup trucks.
Yeehaw, brother.
Yeehaw.
Well, let's see what we can do now. We're going to look on down to round number 12. Looks like forZe does have 6 rounds on the board to G2's 5. See forZe clan working their way down the connector. But all they got is these damn pistols. And I'm going to tell you right now, Halvor, Meemaw is not going to be happy about this one.
No, she ain't. Keep going.
No, I'm good. Don't need to. Got Kenny S here going off enough. He's going to go ahead and take down 2 before Flit is able to somehow pick up his op and also land a kill on the Omnic after taking him down. So really good stuff there from him. Ultimately, just getting a bomb down would be a success right now for the side of forZe, as they really didn't have to buy up a whole lot into this round.
How about just getting a round win?
That would also help. This op is a menace and a half. Lucky, 1 versus 2. That was doomed from the start. Face crack falls. But there you have it. A round win for forZe. Oh, baby. All pistols, no problems.
If you were to summarize what we've seen so far in Overpass, what would the one word be?
You know, I don't necessarily have a great answer for you right away, but what I can say in summary is that forZe are taking it to G2. It doesn't matter what map it is.
It doesn't matter what kind of guns they have either,
Yeah,
apparently.
it's just really, really good stuff here. Really good individual shots from some of these players as well.
It's been a pretty wild affair so far here on Overpass. We thought Inferno was delivering a lot of unorthodox scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Overpass definitely delivering early on as well.
That's right. Round number 13, getting close to that halftime mark, and it's forZe after winning map 1, up 7-5 currently.
Think you saw the same thing as me?
And they're not wrong. That's
That's definitely true.
if you don't know, now you know. Twitch chat.
Well,
Nonetheless, pistols on the side of G2 in this round. They want to have an all-deagle affair, minus the 1 CZ there on Omnic. Rotation is going to come in. They want to play heavy towards this B site. And, well, guess what? They threw their bait in the water. It looks like forZe want to go fishing.
Fishhook's ready.
Fishhook's ready, off of the hat now of the single-player model, and out onto the B-bomb site. Great shot there from Shox the Deagle. Going to need to grab a couple more, though. It's not looking likely. The time has dwindled down. Shouldn't be a problem to get this bomb planted inside B, especially when shots like that are ringing out. Who needs to plant the bomb, am I right?
Not really needed, is it? We've seen forZe actually have a round on Inferno where they decided to take the B bomb site without a bomb at all. Still winning the round, of course.
Oof.
It's been a wild ride, this best of 3 so far, and we're not even halfway through the second map. Flit this time is going to be the one to join 6 Power at high fragging counts. Actually, pretty much everyone on the side of forZe are doing pretty hot for themselves. Lucky was one of the big performers for G2 so far. Well, on Inferno, not having the start he'd like to have. As forZe make their way up towards balloons. Scared off Kenny. Kenny doesn't have a weapon, so double eco coming in from G2.
Saving for that last round is G2. The French trying to do something a little different here and save it out, which, you know, maybe you can put 6 on the board if you don't grab this one.
Might be the play.
Just might be. Now they're going to gamble it over here towards A. All 5 members of G2 are here. forZe have no hint of this just yet, but they do like to run a few, just a little bit of misdirection. It seems like they're going to back off a little bit and split B.
Have Face Card hold off any sort of rotation.
Look at this push by G2 right now.
Oh, we saw a foot.
He hears a lot of people. Throwing him down his face crack, but eventually his AK is going to drop. That information's there. They need to get rid of this player at the site, get the bomb down. 30 seconds left, but you alleviate some of that pressure onto yourself. They're going to do just that. 4 stay alive for forZe. And it's G2 on all 4s.
Well, AK picked up on Jax. He's probably going to bring that into the next round. Make sure he gets all the utility he could want. And more. Could also end up in a potential op drop for Kenny, but he should have enough money by himself. But 9 T-side rounds for the Russians. Rather impressive stuff. And again, we said it at the start of the match, this is not normally a map where forZe finds a lot of success. I mean, if you go back to, well, I think it's about a week or so, they lost 16-0 to Team Spirit.
Well, you do love to see that when it comes down to this one. 9-5 on the last round of the first half for forZe. Again, having won the first map of Inferno, going some 48 rounds, I believe it was.
It was a long one.
Yes, it was, Halvor, but we got there, and now we are getting to the end of the first half here. Can forZe double-digit it, close it out, switch over to the CT side? That's going to be the real question.
Is indeed. Well, time will tell as we get going. 9-5.
Op back in Kenny's hands, and Exit Power has certainly done enough to call himself an opper. Perhaps we'll get that duel here in a moment.
So they're going to circumvent the restrooms for now. Focus on long instead. 3 players moving forward. Obviously, this is going to be heard by Amanek, and that's why Kenny S is posted up in this way. Long smoke towards the end of long. And this could be a way to, well, I guess, negate or fake pressure towards the A bomb side if the CTs are playing passively. That's not the case, though. So they have full information that this is just going to be fake, and that's why you're seeing the rotations off of the A bomb site. Oh, and Jax needs to be able to get at least one in those kind of situations. Jerry is giving some leeway.
Yeah, but the timing is going to work out so that they clash head on here within the site. Shox will be that first line of resistance for G2. He's not alone, though. He does have backup. In the meantime, it's not going to be him winning the fights either. It's going to be Lucky and Kenny. 20 seconds on the clock. Kenny missing a shot, 25 HP. He decides to back off. And good idea as he's able to find Flit. So face crack buys Lonesome with 10 seconds. He's got to get this bomb planted, and he will. There's no grenades to stop this. I don't see a kit unless there's one down in the site. Won't need it, though. Kenny S will be able to op him to death. And that's going to be a 9-6 half. Still in the favor of forZe. Still a good look.
Definitely so. forZe had a big opportunity there to get into double digits in the first half. Just the rest of the team being a little bit far behind from where Jerry found himself. It's not really able to pound off of the initial frag and opening. He founds onto Jax. Great job from Kenny S there towards the end, though.
Oh.
Can you tell what that says?
The park is open from, or the park is closed from 8 p.m. I couldn't see it because the HUD was in the way, but
Right.
I actually don't know. I made that up. I can't really read that.
Well, what you're not making up is the GG.Bet odds going into the second half. That's going to be forZe, actually. 1.63 odds favor, and at 2.18 on a G2 win.
Smooth sailing. Big pistol round here for G2. They need to get this one to try to even things up. Fury space to go towards that fountain and then back off. They've sold the idea that they have full control of the bathrooms and long. And now they've elected to go back. Perhaps a pistol round that has been seen already here from forZe. You can see them backing off too. They're backing off.
They got an idea.
Yeah, they do have a hunch that this is going to happen. A boost here from Almazer. Should he have that opportunity to take the shot and take a few out right here in the opener, which he does, it's going to help things immensely.
A lot of this.
Towards Sandbag. And this has gone horribly wrong from the side of G2. They were going to go for the knife on it. They really were feeling themselves right there.
A little bit early, maybe. Sure, if you're like up, I don't know, 15-3 or something. Not quite in pistol round of second half, but in any case, it does net force the pistol round victory, and they do get off to a potentially hot start of the second half. Not bad at all. I mean, it's both pistols netted for the Russians.
Yeah, pretty sure it says from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah?
Park is closed or something.
Damn.
Really, though? Who knows? Only the German speakers.
It's not us. That's a solid nade. There's a pretty significant amount of damage on the D2 squad.
That is not us, but we do have Jerry here with the AUG. And it looks like G2 want to pressure the bathroom real quick. Running up short. They're going to run right into them. Exit power, split, Almazar. Getting it done with ease. Not a whole lot there to defend themselves with, though, so kind of expected.
Yeah. Question is if they're going to upgrade to rifles over that, or if they're going to see if they can get away with a bonus round here. 3 MP9s in play, or it was 3, now there's 2. Zex Power is going to go up to an AWP, which makes sense considering I've been playing with that so far. No AWP in the hands of Kenny. Due to the limited economy, he's going to have to go for an AK. Now, pretty big round for G2. They're going to be falling pretty far behind if they were to lose this one. Smoke battles, Jerry trying for something. It looked like he just kind of flashed himself there.
There was an idea, and there was an attempt, but overall, it was a fail.
Molotov goes into the corner.
And that's not going to go well, is it?
It really isn't.
Good read on the Molotov there.
One of the big downsides with Jerry going down is that was one of the AUGs. Almazar was not able to pick that up as well. So firepower severely lacking on the side of forZe, in addition to being a man down. But G2 seemingly have no clear idea as to where they want to go just yet. Bomb still dropped towards spawn. Oh, well, Jax gets punished for throwing that Molotov.
Gets smoked. There we have it. It's still going to be a firm grip on this site from forZe. So it'll be a big round for them to take. The bomb's going to start heading back to the other side of the map now, and it's going to be G2 that need to find another avenue of approach into these bomb sites. Looks like they want to start going towards a site. X Power there with his op. Not exactly the guy that you want to run into, all things considered, because this guy, he's on one. You guys would say this to him on land because he's jacked. Not only that, he just hit Lucky with a headshot from downtown, as well as Flit. Almanac and Shocks trying to put something together here, but just nothing of substance is going to come out of that one. 12-6 for forZe.
This is getting dangerous. This is getting real dangerous for G2. They're going to have to go into this next round saving up. forZe very likely to be looking at 13 rounds. Here we go. Cheeky replay.
Quite the shot.
It's not a whole lot of millimeters to work with there, plus the Molotov fire. I can't see anything through like the smoke
at
of
all.
the Molotov. Yeah, no, it's just impossible.
I just get immediately owned. It's just
Pretty much, yeah. It feels like everyone else is just a clear path of vision.
Yeah. No Molotov for them, but
Just we're the unfortunate ones, apparently. And, well, this is... I don't know what to think of this investment. Lucky's down to $600. All right, then. Just creeping closer here on short. Smoke's been put down. They're going to have to venture through that. Might just hope for a contact play and see if that does them any good. Shocks lines up smoke. Now flashes. And away we go.
Barry lining him up. Not a problem. Knocking him down as well until he runs into Lucky. Lucky with the CZ getting 2 in the sight. Have given a little bit of a breath of hope here for the side of forZe.
So they did a 4-man takeoff of a pop flash onto the B bomb side, but the guy throwing the flash was the one with the bomb. Has pulled a rotation, so Shaxi might get lucky here, but seems like a pretty big hope. He's actually going to fake the plant.
Boom.
Almazar takes care of that. 13 rounds for G2. And they're not even able to get that lucky number 3. Really put a dent into the economy, and that really would have been something at least for G2 at this stage. Bit of a pause as well. I'm assuming this is G2 wanting to talk things over, where they want to go. Lucky because he spent, what was it, about $1,200 in that previous round, is going to be rather limited when it comes to utility. Could buy AK, full armor, and smoke in a flash, but would probably like some Molotovs and whatnot in there. Kenny does have enough for your last cannon op, but nothing more than that. He's actually going to opt in for it as well. Gets one flash to boot, but this really, really needs to work for G2. Otherwise, we might be looking at a force team at map point pretty early on. This is definitely not what I was expecting from G2 coming into Overpass. This should have been their secure pick in this series, and they've just been trounced completely by force. Power peering over towards playground, see if there's any boosts or anything of the sort going on, and we have the aggressive positioning as well. Face crack peering through smoke. Okay, that's a good find onto Amanek, and they still haven't seen Flit. Six Power starts things off, and this is really going haywire for G2. Yikes. 3 men down, and they barely even touched anyone on force. Still don't know about Flit here, aggressively behind Fountain either. So where do you go? Been shut down at every avenue of the map so far. How about one more? Taking it all in, and pretty much what felt like was the last stance for G2 gets utterly destroyed.
That is what we like to call a nightmare scenario here for the French. It's as if the baguettes came alive and they were all evil little breads. And then, well, okay, I don't know what kind of...
Yeah, I thought you were going to, like, the baguettes got put in the oven, eaten up by...
Well,
I don't know, eaten for
dark
breakfast.
Hour, but okay.
I mean, what's right about the situation they find themselves in right now?
What was that movie Danny McBride did about the food that's alive?
Oh, isn't that Sausage Party?
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
Sausage Fest? Yeah.
Maybe. It worked. I got you to say it at least.
Such a child.
Just kidding. That actually wasn't my goal until you did it. So
Yeah, no.
I forgot it was named something
I went that
ridiculous.
extra mile for you. But it is a real movie.
It is a real
Let's just
movie.
be real, like, clear about that.
Not necessarily real people in the movie, but it's a real thing. Now, what will G2 keep it real right now?
Ooh.
What will they do?
Oh, get the first kill.
Op from X-Power. This guy continues to be on a tear, and he's going to have to hold down this A site just a little bit. They're going to swarm him and Flit. So a bomb plant here in this Jerry and face crack.
And of all the rounds to work out, this would be the one.
It's very true. Molotov landing in the smoke and with the bomb planted. Face crack really doesn't have a reason not to go for this, so he will. He will keep that close left corner, second guessing himself, and then ultimately losing the duel.
Well, there is that. Another pause comes in. Wouldn't be surprised if that's force kind of just trying to figure out what the hell happened, because that should have been a pretty easy round when all things considered. But it's not like they're really pressed for anything, pressed for time in that sense. They've got round difference of 7 to work with.
Well, let's kind of also paint the picture in the right way, because this is the upper bracket winners match. Now, both these teams having won their first matchup doesn't mean that they get eliminated by losing this best of 3. If you're a G2 fan, if you're a baguette yourself, just go ahead and consider that this does drop you down into a lower berth.
Yes, that is very true. I mean, we saw Liquid kind of, well, live the same faith yesterday.
Yeah.
Although they dropped in the first round. So they have to play the elimination game on day 1. Still laughing about Sausage Fest.
I'm just trying to, that cannot be the name of the movie, is it?
It's Sausage Party or Sausage Fest, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
It's the Seth Rogen one, right?
Yeah, it's Party, you're right. It's
Yeah?
this one right here, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I've not seen it.
3 years ago. Don't. It's a waste of time.
It's bad?
It wasn't that good.
Ah.
No offense. Danny McBride's a funny dude, but...
Yeah.
No, it's Seth Rogen. No, it's not Danny
Yeah,
McBride.
no, don't they have Danny McBride in there as well? Danny McBride, Seth Rogen, James Franco.
Yeah, I mean, they are kind of like running mates. Like, what is that? Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder,
No,
and
no.
also, what's the...
Pineapple Express. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
Pineapple Express, and then you also have the movie, oh, God, where, like, the world ends, like,
Oh,
their house
This Is
party
the
at
End.
Franco's. Yeah, this is the end.
I
Speaking
think
of the
Rihanna
end.
shows up.
Yeah.
Speaking of the end, Jax is going to end out Almazar right here. So he's given a little bit of an advantage over here to the G2 Esports side, albeit 14-7 with the current score. Still a long way to run. And I don't see forZe Clan taking it laying down either. Look at that. The cleanup duty is in town, and FaceCrack with 2 of them. They like to feed FaceCrack, I've kind of noticed.
He's been having a really good game here. They've been lining up for him on the CT side, and once he swapped over to that end of it, continuing to do a good job. FaceCrack, undecided as to what he wants to do. Reloads, just the wrong moment.
Not bad shots from Kenny, though. 1v2, very low, and nowhere to go. It's over for him, at least. We've got one more round here. forZe on map and match point. That is the entirety of this series.
It truly is. And well, I didn't think we'd be here. forZe, they struggled their way to a win on Inferno, but here on Overpass, no doubt who's been the better team, and it's been off the back of just a solid performance from everyone involved.
G2's map pick, nonetheless.
Yeah. A map they've had strong results on. Keep in mind, they beat Energy in Dallas, they've beaten Navi in Pro League, so they're no slouches.
This is no time for XD, ladies and gentlemen. This is where things get real for French fans all around the world. Don't worry, though.
Still not out.
Still not out,
Oh.
and there's still vitality at the end of the day.
That's a flash and a half.
Yes, it is. It's going to be very fruitful, too. Kenny S is out of the round, and what could be very last here for this upper bracket winners match.
I'll get to see if the 4 remaining D2 players have anything to say about that.
If you got something to say, you need to use hashtag Maincast. Let's hear what you got. I dare you.
Gotten any food picks yet?
I haven't looked. I should check. But ultimately, I'm enthralled by what's going on in front of me, and that being that G2 just about ready to hit the B-bomb site in a split, and they're going to be running into that Jerry and FaceCrack. FaceCrack has been unrelenting so far. Now, though, only able to get one. So the site has fallen. Olympus still stands. But ultimately, it's Flit to try to get back to the site alongside of Exapower. We know that they're capable of it, but will they be able to do it is the question.
Is there that much value in really going for this? It's a 2v3 retake. They have Molotovs, so that might spur them on.
He's probably calling for the boost right there. You saw that.
Mm.
And,
Just got to duck away.
Yeah, I think it's a turn tail right here.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of money on the side of forZe as things stands right now, and they just want to play this as safe as possible. We've seen Exapower being rather, well, reasonable in terms of when he decides to opt in for these retakes and whatnot once he has the op in hand. Not quite Jame levels in terms of saving, but he's been putting it to work, so you can't really blame him. It feels like every time he has that in his hands, there's a pretty viable chance for forZe to win out rounds. But G2 at least get an 8th. And another pause comes in.
Yes, it does, Halvor. Spot on.
I nailed that one.
Halvor Vendetta Gulastol.
You're better than Alex at it now.
Thanks, man. I try.
Yeah? Sitting at home, just reading my last name.
Yeah, man.
That's what it...
How'd you know?
People don't know, you know, like how much work you got to put in as a desk host and all that kind of stuff. Just practicing names.
Yeah, well, I have
especially when you get like you don't get like people from, I guess, normal countries in that sense. You got Maniac from Switzerland.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get that one under wraps, but
got Jacob coming all the way from Denmark.
yeah, Vinicky's not that hard.
Yeah, it's kind of like vinegar.
Yeah. Vinegar face.
Listerine face.
Oh, and the Listerine face all together. Quick shot there. And again, he delivers. X-Power with the AWP kill.
Upside down smiley for Amanek.
Yes, sir. Everyone likes that emoji. I know I do.
FaceCrack in a solid position to potentially get one. We'll see if G2 actually flash for it. They're just going to walk into it. It still works out. Jax, Cherry takes the fight versus Shocks. Doesn't pan out for him. Let's see if Exapower can actually find something peering over the smoke. Not going to happen this time around. So 3v4, retake, maybe a potential, but
Shoot until something hits.
while jumping, why not?
The old mantra. And they're going to back out. It's going to be another save from forZe and a 9th on the board for G2. With that smoke in heaven, there was no way forZe was going to get back into this round. So that is just the way it goes sometimes, my friends.
Cookie crumbling.
All that stuff, but I was just going to say that you're all my friends, Twitch chat. Hearts to you all around the board. Halvor, don't know if he feels the same way. Probably not. In fact, he's shaking his head no right now. But me, I love all of you individually. Even the toxic ones.
Wasn't you started the chant at Sydney?
No, that was not me.
That was not you?
That was fantastic, though. I really thoroughly enjoyed that.
That was something.
Yeah, that was truly a treat. 15-9, the real treat here for forZe. If they can win this, will have put themselves in a pretty position going forward into the playoffs. But will this be the round that they do it? They were able to save an op last round. They have an AUG on Flit. Then to the side of that, an MP9 and 2 P250s. Oh boy. Close play there. Jerry's able to find one on his own cognizance. Meanwhile, everyone else is just getting erased from the B-bomb site. There's no way to recover that op either, so this one not going very well there for forZe, and they're starting to slow down. You don't want to let your foot off the gas just yet. Just need one round. $15 to 10. Here we have it. Better purchase on the side of forZe. You're going to be able to put another op in XE Power's hands, and they do need that. Base crack going to die early on. That's not going to help things at all. 4v5, but the op's still in play. And this guy, I'm telling you, he's been pretty lights out through the entirety of today. So I can see a world where he is a game changer. He's good for 2 usually. Right now, he's actually set up in a pretty awkward position. I say he's good for 2. The shotgun op didn't necessarily put him where he wanted to be. 3v4. Bomb now working its way up towards A site. They're going to be clearing bathrooms, clearing connector, and now the call is going to be coming in from Almazar. He's got to be wary of this long A, though. He's got to be really wary that Jax is going to creep right up on him. He's not alone there at long A either, so eventually this hit will come in. He does spot the head, and he's going to need some help here from the rest of forZe. Hold on to your britches, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Jax through the smoke. Another save going to get called here for an AUG and an AK. These rounds are slipping away. It's starting to smell like something in here, Halvor. I'm not talking about the pizza you ate earlier. I'm saying, you know what it's smelling like right now?
Something like something the Rock's cooking.
No, it smells.
Quadruple overtime.
It does smell a little bit like overtime. I would say quadruple. That's a little well done. It's not really my taste, but here we are nonetheless. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we did not die. What's dead may never die, if you didn't know that. $15 to 11, and G2 have been able to rally together 4 rounds here, holding on for dear life.
as they are looking at losing this best of 3, pending forZe's 1-round win. Not sure that it'll be this round, but you never know. This team capable of a lot. You have 3 pistols and 2 rifles.
FaZe's going to get aggressive. There is one player waiting for him, though, if he were to venture through the smoke. Oh, actually going to miss the shot, Kenny. Oh, luckily for him, he has Jax to back him up. There's more. More to be had. More players to deal with. Lucky comes back to save the day.
Okay, and the lineup there gives him that. They could barely help him, too. That Molotov could have done a lot more harm than good. Flit on the rotation. Last one alive. Wants to do this quietly, but that's just not going to be the case, is it? Kenny S with the AUG and the peek. 1v1, Jackson Flit. This could be it. This could be map point. We're going to split the screens for you. New technology breaking here at Maincast.
See how Flit decides to play this. Oh, he's going to go real sneaky about it.
Oh, boy.
How patient is he going to be with this position, though?
I mean, this is one of those you commit to for the long haul, you know? Like, I'm in there.
He's staying there pretty much until the bomb gets planted.
Yeah, and I think Jax has got to be aware. You see him backing off through connector, and with the timer kind of slipping the way it is, he hasn't made any noise. It's not like he's trying to throw a misdirection here. So the read here from Flit is going to be a bad one, albeit a good position and good idea. Just not going to be where the bomb ends up going. Flit's going to know that sooner rather than later. Don't see a kit on his person either, so perhaps he can pick one up on the way if there was one. Don't recall seeing one.
Well, now he's
Bomb
got to have to
plant.
start figuring it out that the jig is up.
Yep, there it is. Does he see a kit anywhere around? That would be the game changer. 24 and 12 versus that of Jackson. An even KD in 19-19.
2 flashes on Flit, no smoke, so can't go for like a 10-second smoke diffuse. He needs to actually find out where Jax is playing.
He's got to push this a little bit. He's got to play a little bit aggressive, and he's going to do just that. He's going to go to clear the bathrooms right now here at the peak, and it is G2 that wins it out. It's going to be Jax that's able to hold the door open for G2 just a little bit longer. 15-12. And on a string of rounds here from G2, they're able to keep the dream alive for themselves. Not that they'd be deleted, but not that they would be eliminated. They're going to stay alive here off the back of 5 rounds. And now we see a proper buy.
Yep, very much so. 6 Power pretty much just missing out on a Molotov. Same thing goes for Jerry, but outside of that, it's pretty much everything you can ask for. And now we have to see if they can actually maintain or stay up against the pressure that G2 is putting on. Early aggression through Monster gets brought back. A lot of utility exchange as well. Jerry and Almaz are just going to tag team up on Lucky.
Like, in that moment, you've got the kill, you've got the territory pretty much, right?
Yeah,
so,
be happy with it.
Just be content. Don't try to end the game before it needs to be.
Yeah.
The game will find a way, and if you build it, they will come.
Kenny has had that opportunity to potentially walk down Underpass as well. Face Crack wants to go through them. Smoke once more. That's a little bit overly aggressive. Oh, I think 6 Power. Well, he saw the gun barrel. He definitely heard the scope as well. He's going to wait for Kenny to drop down again. Oh. Come on now.
That's awkward. 3v4. X-Power with the AWP has made some noise in the water, and that's kind of thrown Kenny for a loop. He's heard that. He's going to hold it a little bit. Flit pushed up. He's hearing some sound cues as well, so this is about to get real messy. We did miss the kill there, but Kenny S takes out Jerry. Flit's going to go ahead and clear out Long A from the backside.
He's going to give time?
Yeah, he does. He does see him.
He's actually going to let him slip up long, and, well...
He didn't have a choice. There wasn't a shot there he was going to take.
Yeah.
Now there might be.
This is a fake, though, that he's selling.
Yeah. But he doesn't know that from the bathroom side.
Yeah, Flit is pretty much just banking on this being the full take, and he's going to get a drop on multiple players instead of just Shocks. He might not even find Shocks either.
This might not end well for his boy X-Power.
Oh.
Never mind. What was I thinking?
Shoxy made some noise when dropping, and that should be
time.
the tell, yeah.
Oh.
Kenny unscopes at the wrong time. There's a chance.
There is a chance, and we're not in Haiti, I can tell you that. Flit and X-Power versus Jackson Amanek. The bomb has been planted towards the B site, and they're going to split it right now, trying to crossfire this defense up a little bit. Jax holding the B tunnel. That of Amanek is going to loop around. The crossfire is real. Flit finds it. Looking good, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a fan of forZe, they are about to do it, and they have. And that is that. It's going to be over for G2 Esports in the upper bracket. The best of 3 won by forZe. First map going their way after a long, grueling affair on Inferno. We had 48 rounds of Counter-Strike. Now we get to see Overpass and a good look from forZe in that map as well.
Absolutely so. And I mean, how many rounds was that in a row? I think it's 5 from G2 before forZe eventually cleaned things up, rounded it out. But they were in control the entire time on Overpass, and that's definitely not something I was expecting.
No, it certainly wasn't. And I mean, if we look at forZe and G2, they both continue to go on in here. But I guess the reality is, can forZe continue this sort of presence that we're seeing from them? Can they continue what it is that they're doing in the server right now, and can they continue to translate that going forward?
You'd hope so, right? Like, they're going to get an interesting matchup in the semifinals. It's now them and Sprout to make it directly through. Again, I don't think anyone would have had that in the cards once we looked up. I mean, if you looked up, the day before the tournament started, forZe wouldn't even be in it.
Yeah.
They're a replacement team for Wendigo. And they've definitely lived up to, I guess, prove that part of it, that they've deserved to be the replacement team.
Yeah, and speaking of replacements, we do get to take a little bit of a break. I do believe that we're going to do that. And then when we come back, we do have a second best of 3, an elimination game on top of it all. It's going to be that of Movie Star Riders and the Hellraisers going toe-to-toe in a best of 3. So make sure you're with us when we come back.